what it means to be an American. America is freedom, and freedom is special and rare.
We, the people of this great nation.
The only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
We, the people of this great nation.
Good morning, my fellow Americans. First and foremost, I want to say, we the people, what the fuck are you thinking about? I don't understand how in the world is this even a close race in Georgia. Have Americans lost their mind, or the left lost their mind? Are they going to expect us to fix the damages that they have caused? Because this is what we seem to do day in, day out, all the time. They are single-handedly destroying our country. I can't believe this race is even this close. We have two extreme left-wingers that literally one praises Fidel Castro and the other one is in cahoots with China. This is just the most ridiculous thing I have ever seen in my entire life. And I hope my kids never see this ever again. I'm still hopeful. Again, remember, guys, I pre-record this, guys and gals. I pre-record this the day before. So I'm watching this in real time right now as the election is unfolding. Again, mysteries occurring, apparently in Savannah, Georgia. I'm sorry. That might not be correct. In one of the counties, they've stopped counting. Probably will start counting in about an hour when everybody's sound asleep and start dumping some ballots. I don't know. Right now, from what I'm seeing it's 50-50. Literally, Purdue is winning by 2,000 votes with what seems to be left, blue counties. Votes from blue counties. And Loeffler is actually down to 49.6% to 50.4% to Warnock. Literally, the single most worst candidate that we could possibly have for the Senate. Again, a wife beater, a fake pastor that believes in pro-choice when we all know the Bible's pro-life, but apparently it's a man, a women now. So we're living in different times. So we have Dr. Q here. He has late breaking news. Again, I give him a platform because we are close friends. I did get an email today that was quite interesting, along with a lot of other emails, but this one caught my attention because I had a fan send me an email, and yes, he goes a little bit beyond Miss Tara. That's all I'll say. He is excruciatingly annoying. I agree with you 100%, but entertaining nevertheless. So that being said, Dr. Q, what's up, buddy? How are you?
Hey, what's up, man?
Okay, so you've been telling me all day, you've been nagging, telling me you have, I already know who the source is. I'm not going to say it. We try to keep our sources here confidential. I keep mine's confidential. He keeps his confidential. We may mess around a little bit, but we try to keep this, even if it's a conspiracy, even if we can't confirm or deny, or if it's factual or not, we still try to maintain these confidential sources private, hence confidential. All right. So what do you have to preach, brother?
So this basically, I think tomorrow Trump is going to lay out the factual evidence, like irrefutable proof on the election fraud, and it's literally fraud. And there's 100% proof now. You're not seeing on media, you're not seeing on anything. I have a serious connection that is involved in, some kind of armed forces. I'm not going to say where.
He works for the government, just to keep it.
He works for the government.
Okay.
But I'm not going to say what. Yeah.
Okay.
So what the situation here is, this all is incorporated from Italy in Rome, and it's coming from the U.S. Embassy. The government's involved. Canada's involved. Their government. Here. I wrote down a lot because I couldn't couldn't keep what I had. It was an audio that I received. England's involved. So what happened here was there is a contractor. Their name is Leonardo. It's a
Da
government
Vinci?
contractor. They're like Lockheed Martin, like top military government contractors. They're just like them. They're in Italy. They're in Rome, and they are contractors for like satellites and basically top notch stuff that has to do with government. So what happens here is the Dominion machines have Wi-Fi, okay, and they pass through a server, and what happens is it uploads and sends to Rome through these satellites, through the satellite, the military satellite. It's an encrypted satellite, okay. What happens here is the swing states that actually stop the boats. That's what they're doing. They're manipulating the data. They're sending through the servers to the satellite in Rome, at the U.S. Embassy, and they're manipulating the data. And the reason why they have to do this is because there were so many votes for Donald Trump, massive amounts of votes for Donald Trump. So it was destroying the algorithm that was going through the servers to manipulate the Dominion machines. So they had to redo everything and then resend it. Hold on.
Okay, I mean, we can't.
Resend it
Okay, go ahead.
because the plan wouldn't work for the fraud. So what they would do is they upload the new info with the new analogs to manipulate the data, and they send a new number through the Italian military satellite, and then through the contractor was Leonardo, and it was encrypted, and they send it back to them, and then they basically send them what they wanted for it to look like, without the Trump votes. And supposedly MI6 is involved in England and Canada, and that's what's happening in Georgia now too. They're stopping the votes, and they're doing the same exact thing. And I can guarantee that Trump knows about this. It's probably not. I'm pretty sure it's not in the media yet. I think we're the first ones. So that's exactly what's happening in Georgia too. You're going to see they're going to stop the votes, and they're going to manipulate. They're going to send them to the servers, and it's going to go to the satellite, the military satellite, back down to the machines with the manipulated data. So that's exactly
And
how everything's working.
I mean, you know how bizarre this sounds, right? Again, for my audience out there, I give him a platform doesn't mean I believe it. I would not doubt it happens. We don't know what happens within this government. This government is extremely complicated. We know we've been involved in trafficking of drugs in the past. We've been involved in wars within countries. We've instigated wars within countries. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if this occurs. Again, I'm not much of a conspiracy theorist. I think this is very far-fetched, extremely far-fetched.
The mastermind is Obama.
Okay. Listen.
Even more.
I don't know. I don't even know how to respond to this. I gotta use Joe Biden.
Come on, man.
I don't even know. You're sounding a little bit like good old Joe. I mean, this guy. I don't know where you got this information from. Again, to me, it's fucking insane. I mean, I don't see how any logical person can believe this. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. I mean, when you told me you had some breaking news, you didn't want to go into detail with me until you were live on the air. Yeah, this was not what I was expecting.
Well, no, it's crazy. Is I wish I could have let you. I explained to you earlier. I had the audio from the conference call that this is all coming from, and it's basically top secret. And you you were streaming, so you didn't listen to it, and now it's a conference call where it's basically a password. You got to put in. Now it's gone. So, like I said, it's top security. So.
And you had access to this top security information?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, I know,
Come
right?
on, man. Are you stupid?
I mean, come on. Do you honestly think I'm going to believe this shit? If I reported this,
I'm
look,
not asking you to
thank
believe
you,
it, I'm
thank
just
you,
telling
because
what the truth is.
if this happens to come out tomorrow, today,
Yeah.
and it happens to make news, I was the first person to report this. I should get some sort of a Pulitzer Prize or something for being the first person to reveal this top secret information. But again, it's hard for me to fathom this type of stuff just taking it by your word and by a source, which I know who the source is, but again, I don't know how far it goes within the government. That being said, I think I also want people to have a realistic standpoint of what might occur tomorrow and what I think is going to happen tomorrow.
We're going to get destroyed.
Huh?
I said we are going to get destroyed on the numbers. It's going to show that Loeffler and Purdue lost dramatically, and it's all fraud.
Well, they just updated the numbers
out.
as we speak right now. Purdue is winning by a slim 1,000 votes. A slim 1,000 votes. They just changed right now. He went up a few. And she's losing more votes. She's down 35,000 votes. She's down 35,000 votes. She's going to lose the election. Loeffler's going to lose. Purdue might be able to hang in there.
They're going to win. They're going to win, but they're going to lose tonight.
They're actually... I mean, look, again, I'm just going based on the data that's being presented. I'm going on actual data that's being presented by these polling places. I don't know what fraud is going on there. I don't know if fraud is even occurring. I'm basically just looking at the data as it goes and as it comes in. I don't know what I'm going to wake up to. Again, election night, I went to sleep thinking Donald Trump won the election. I woke up in the morning, and apparently Donald Trump went from having 900,000 votes to being 300,000 behind. So that being said, again, I don't understand this. This is what happens when you open the floodgates to mail-in ballots. These ballots are completely unconstitutional, and this is exactly what happens. You give an advantage to the other side, and then one side doesn't have the same standards as the other side. It's in Georgia, very incredible that you can mail in ballots, no signature verification required. You go in person, signature verification required. You would think it would be the other way around. But again, it is what it is.
What happens is they manipulate. Well, what happens is they see that they're losing, then they send it back to the servers up to the satellite in the U.S. Embassy in Italy, Rome, and then they send them the new data, so it coincides what they need to do, and then they have all these extra ballots, and they just run them through to coincide with the new data from the satellite.
I mean,
that's all it is.
This
nothing
is
to do with mail-in ballots, none of that stuff.
I mean, this is beyond bizarre because the numbers add up at the end of the day when they do the audits.
Right, because the satellite manipulates the numbers to make them win, and then they bring them. It sends it back to the servers through, to the voting machines. So they look at the numbers, what they need, and then they just basically have all the blank ballots.
Okay, then let me ask you. Let me ask you a question. Why is it everybody seems chalan about this? Why is it that everyone is already pretty much, at least in the media, and I'm talking about right-wing media, from Newsmax to OANN to Fox News, every single one of them has pretty much, in their own way, acknowledged a victory for Joe Biden. Everybody right now is at the point where, yes, we have people out there that are fighting. We have people out there that are fighting a good fight for Donald Trump. We have DC that's packed. They're predicting, I don't know, some sources tell me 5 million, some sources tell me 1 million, 2 million. I don't know. We'll know, I guess, tomorrow because I have people on the ground over there. I will be streaming it live. My guys that are on the ground. But again, this is best case scenario of what I see happening tomorrow. And I may be wrong. I've been wrong. I mean, on so many different things. I thought Donald Trump my electoral map that I projected for November 3rd was so off. It was ridiculous. I gave Nevada to Joe Biden, but I thought Trump was definitely going to take Minnesota. I didn't even think Biden had a chance in Wisconsin. I didn't think he had a chance in Pennsylvania. I didn't think he had a chance in Michigan. Nevertheless, Georgia wasn't even in my radar. I put Georgia red automatically. Like it wasn't even, and Arizona as well. I mean, these weren't even states that I was even considering that could go blue in any which way.
Well, Jay, also, this was all just sent to the swing states. That's it, not the other states.
Okay, well,
It was the
look,
key states.
nevertheless, this is my predictions of what's going to happen tomorrow. From what I'm seeing, Congress seems to be the one more on board for fighting this fight. I don't know if they just feel like either they have the evidence. I don't know how the evidence is going to be presented. I know Trump is tweeting out that Vice President Pence is a good vice president, will do his best. He cannot validate fraudulent votes, et cetera, et cetera. You know, the rhetoric that Donald J. Trump shoots out of his mouth. That being said, I think this is the most that I can assume that Trump is plotting here. Either one, this is a giant publicity stunt, and if that's the case, Donald Trump will never step foot in Washington, D.C. again. Number two, he has an extreme amount of evidence. He plans to present it tomorrow, and when he presents it tomorrow, either one, it's going to be so solid that Democrats and Republicans alike are going to be against the wall, and they're not going to have any choice but to certify the other electoral votes. Now, that being said, if Democrats still refuse and Republicans, and I believe this is why he called on the American people to show up to Washington, D.C., he is trying to get the backing of the American people. So when he shows the evidence to the American people, if he sees that the votes are not going in his favor, he will enact the Insurrection Act. That is what I think. He will go straight into the Insurrection Act. That is what I strongly believe. If he really believes he has a case and he really proves it to the American people, I'm not just talking to Republicans. It's easy to prove to Republicans because nobody wants their candidate to lose. The same way I would think Democrats would feel. That being said, I do have something that was on my mind since yesterday in the morning. It was interesting to see people showing up at Holly's house, how the left has gone into this little spur of violence or intimidation factors. Apparently, they keep forgetting who are the ones that carry the most guns. We, the people, will not tolerate you guys bullying senators and officials that we elect, that are duly elected because we believe they're fighting for us. It's going to get to the point where America's going to get tired of this shit. And you guys are going to bring something upon yourselves that you're not going to be able to control. So I would highly suggest that people, okay, I've been hearing so many different things so you can have an understanding. One of my guys has infiltrated Antifa. He's right now within the Antifa organization. They have no clue. He's streaming for me. They have no clue that he's interviewing people for me. They think he's literally part of the Antifa and Black Lives Matter movement. This is what
Trump just called them terrorists.
Yeah, I know. This, just so you guys have an idea, Black Lives Matters, okay, is under the impression that, and this is being told by them, and this is what is being spread amongst their groups, and Antifa as well, that the ones that got stabbed were not the Proud Boys, but Black Lives Matter people. This is how delusional, how misinformed these people are. Then they're also being told that the Proud Boys are coming with guns and to stay home. This is what they're being told. They're being told not to hit the streets. They're being told not to go anywhere near that the Proud Boys are carrying weapons. Now, everyone knows here how I feel about Enrique Tarrio, the chairman of the Proud Boys. I personally known him for, 15 years, maybe more. No, more than 15 years, maybe 20. One thing I do know about this man is that he's pretty intelligent. And I will tell you one thing. I feel bad for the state of Washington, D.C., the city. Soon to be a state if these two get in office. The charges that are against him are bogus. He is a convicted felon. He knows the law. He would never, I think it would never go through the plane. And the fact that they're giving him gun charges is just far-fetched and ridiculous. This was a way for them to get him out of D.C. He bonded him out, and they gave him an order to leave Washington, D.C. That was as of today. So he is on his way back to Miami or Virginia or whatever the case may be, but he is not allowed into Washington, D.C. This was a ploy by the left apparently they believe they can cut off the neck of they cut off the head of the snake and the body dies. The problem is that if they didn't know too well about how the Proud Boys work, there's many snake heads and they're extremely organized. Again, there's a new update right now. Let me see what the update is showing. Shit. I mean, this is not looking very good for either one of these guys, man. It's these fucking mail-in ballots, man. It's these fucking mail-in ballots.
It's not.
It is. I mean, the areas that are left are blue areas. I mean, this shit.
I don't care what it says to the left. It doesn't matter what they're saying.
I mean, look, again, if it becomes a close case, we have a close election. Keep in mind, there's still military ballots that come in to play. So, and Warnock has to be confirmed. It's not like he's already Loeffler was designated as, so she would still be a senator even if she loses this election at this point until Warnock gets confirmed into the Senate. So that being said, she will still show up tomorrow and she will still fight for the electoral. But I mean, Georgia laws are just so confusing in the way they handle things. It's not looking good. It's not looking good at all. I mean, maybe by the time you guys are listening to this, we have a victory. I don't know. We cannot afford to lose both. We need to, if we can lose anything, we need to lose one, but we can't lose both. We will literally lose control of the Senate. And I am just what's that?
Everything I just told you what's going to happen. It's happening while we're on the phone.
What do you mean? I'm not seeing it anywhere.
I told you exactly what's going to happen. They're going to stop. They're going to stop the count. Then
they announced this. They announced the stopping of the count about 45 minutes ago, prior to us getting on this phone call. So it's not happening as we speak.
Well, you just said you just looked it up. That's what I'm saying. I wasn't looking it up. So.
No, I heard it on Fox News. It wasn't. This wasn't something that I just looked up. Fox News announced that one county was shutting down. One particular county.
It's not just going to be one county. It's going to be all of them.
No, it's just one. The other ones are continuing. The other ones are continuing to count. Problem is now they're counting the mail-in ballots and absentee ballots, and that's an issue.
So they say.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Look, Dr. Q. I'm the type of person, bro, that I have to see it. I have to see it to believe it. Apparently, they're both throwing parties, Loeffler and Perdue. Don't know what they're partying about because right now they're behind. I mean, the only one that's winning right now is Perdue, and he's winning by a slim margin, like almost under 1,000 votes. No, under 1,000 votes. He's up by 1,200 votes. This is quite scary to watch this play out.
All what you're watching is the media Okay, Loeffler probably knows that she is winning and she won. She probably knows the truth because they have the data of exactly how it happened and what is happening. They probably have real time data of what's really going on, not what the media is telling.
Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back.
Do you feel homeless in today's American political world? Not really into either candidate or party? Guess what? You're not alone. Join me and others just like you across this great country for a discussion of politics from a viewpoint that you can't find in today's media. The Middle. I'm your host, Brian Grozier, and I invite you to join in on the discussion by downloading and listening to the Middle American Podcast.
I mean, I look, I'm sorry, Dr. Q. I just can't believe what you're saying. Look, I believe fraud. I believe election fraud occurred in this election. I do believe those machines could have possibly be rigged. I strongly believe they probably were. I cannot imagine Joe Biden getting 80 million votes. No way, no how. I believe people did a lot of old school fraud, which is just filling in ballots, processing them through the machine illegally. And then, and I think Trump will prove his case tomorrow. I mean, I think overwhelmingly he'll be able to prove this case. I mean, they broke every legislative law you could think of. The legislators are in control of the election, of the election, how you handle an election. Every single state bypassed that. That's being disputed, and Trump is so within the margin of error that it is a possibility. Again, I'll take you back to 1876, where we had the same situation, Republican versus Democrat, fraud in 3 states, Florida being one of them, and it was solved. It was solved. And they went into a recess, as Ted Cruz is suggesting, where they get a committee of 5 congressmen, and the Supreme Court is involved, 5 Supreme Court justices, and they investigate and they see the evidence that's being presented, and they come to the decision on whether or not to certify. And that is the way it was handled at that time period. And I think that may be the result of this election. Or, I mean, if Trump doesn't get these electoral votes, I mean, look, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Regardless whether they certify Trump's votes, even if they certify, let's say Vice President Pence takes a leap of faith with Donald Trump and he says, nope, I'm going to count the electorals that came from Nevada, from this, from that. Joe Biden's legal team is going to sue. So it's going to end up in the Supreme Court regardless. I mean, Joe Biden's not just going to sit back and just allow them. I mean, it's not going to, even if they stole the election, these people think that they're just that clever that they can steal an election and still try to win it in court. I mean, it's bizarre. It's unlike anything I've ever seen. And technically, if we really go into the nitty gritty of all this, if Donald Trump actually pulls off Georgia, it would have meant that Perdue and Loeffler won the election as well. And this runoff was a complete dumb waste of money. That is the reality. Perdue was up. I mean, I don't even understand how they're even this close at this point. Stacey Abrams is behind all of this. That lady, apparently, when she lost, a rocket went up her ass and she was like, I'm going to make sure I fuck every Republican over. I don't know what this lady's doing, but her ground game is amazing. They were calling something around 1.4 million people a day. That is bizarre and insane. This is something that I've never seen. And as we keep allowing, well, we're not allowing because this is a free country, but as more people move around the states, we're going to have issues like this. The more people we get, the more outsiders that keep coming into these red states, they're going to start changing election results in the future. Texas being one of them. These liberals that cannot stand the way their liberal states are handling things are going to Republican states and voting blue. They're voting literally for the same thing they ran away from. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Again.
What's that?
This is never going to happen again.
I mean, we shall see tomorrow. I mean, I'm not going to take any more joy than telling you, dude, nothing you said was accurate at all.
I can't wait until tomorrow and you find out what's accurate. And, I got to be on the podcast. Or, I want you going streaming, and I want you to tell everybody.
I'm going to tell you, Warnock is going to beat Loeffner. He's going to beat her. I mean, he's going to beat her. And Purdue right now, as of 19 minutes ago, he's up by 1,208 with 135,399 votes remaining. Warnock is up 35,702 with 135,402 votes. That is not good for Kelly. That is not good whatsoever. I'm trying to refresh the page to see if the numbers have changed. I mean, this is completely frightening.
It'll change. It'll get worse for us, for Loeffler and Purdue.
I know it has not changed. They have not gotten any updates.
Oh, it will. Tonight you go to sleep. Tomorrow, they're going to win by like 1 million votes.
There's 100. We should screenshot this. 135,000. Watch them win by 250,000 votes. The abnormalities I don't understand how anybody can vote for these people. Do Americans, do left-wing Americans hate this country that much? Do they really hate this country that much? Do they not care about the future of their children? I mean, this is, the reason I go out and I vote and I'm so passionate about what I do is because I think about my family and my kids and their kids and the future of this country. And I'm seeing this unfold, and I'm seeing the Republican Party gaining traction in one direction and losing traction in the other. It's just so difficult for me to understand this. How can Republicans not have realized that the method that Donald Trump has been using is the method that works? People like America first. And a lot of these people have kept to their old Republican ways, and the world is changing. The Democrats seem to get the gist of it, but apparently the Republicans do not. And they continue with their old, and it does not make sense to me either, the fact that that there's such a difference in votes. I mean, you would think that Purdue and Loeffler would have the same equal amount of votes. It's a very confusing, very, very confusing situation here. I mean, I don't understand. I've never seen people vote vote for one and not vote for the other. I mean, usually people vote red and they vote red across the line. We will have the results by tomorrow. I mean, 97% of it is in. We'll have the results tomorrow, and Purdue and Loeffler lost the race. That is what it's looking like. I mean, again, they can pull it off, but I don't know what's left in the counts, like what areas are left from what I'm looking at the map.
Facebook. Listen, Donald Trump on his Facebook says, just have to have found another 4,000 ballots from Fulton County. Here we go.
What did he say?
He said they just happened to find 4,000 ballots out of nowhere from Fulton County.
What do you mean for him?
No, for the Democrats. Listen, I'll tell you, he knows what's going on, and he's basically laughing about it because he has them. He knows. He's waiting for them to incriminate themselves.
I don't really understand what you mean. Like, let me see. Let me see what.
He's saying they were down so much, and all of a sudden they found 4,000 ballots out of nowhere within the last 20 minutes.
Okay, so
that's what I'm saying. He knows exactly how many ballots, Jay.
Wow, he's speaking tomorrow at 7 a.m.
Exactly. So what do you think that says, Jay? Everything I say is going to come true.
He tweets a lot of Tommy Lawrence stuff. The steel is in the making in Georgia. Wait for it. Why are they stopping the vote count in Democrat Chatham County, Georgia? Question mark. This sounds familiar. Just happened to have found another 4,000 ballots from Fulton County. Here we go. Looks like they are setting up the voter dump against the Republican candidates. Wait to see how many votes they need. Oh my God, Donald. I mean, look, you want me to tell you something? This much is interesting. That guy has given us some real comedy relief. I mean, Donald Trump has I would love to meet this man. I mean, honestly, I would love to sit and just have dinner with him for 1 hour. I'd pay $100,000 to meet Donald Trump. I'd pay that much money just to sit with him and just really get to know this man. Because this guy, he must be the coolest guy to hang out with. I don't know how anybody.
Yeah.
Okay, Antifa is a terrorist organization. Stay out of Washington. Law enforcement is watching you very closely. I hope the Democrats, and even more importantly, the weak and ineffective rhino section of the Republican Party, are looking at the thousands of people pouring into D.C. They won't stand for a landslide election victory to be stolen. And he's putting all the senators in there. Washington is being inundated with people who don't want to see our election victory stolen by emboldened radical left Democrats. Our country has had enough. They won't take it anymore. We hear you and love you from the Oval Office. Make America great again. Voters across the USA, if you have friends or family in Georgia, call tax. Reports are coming out of the 12th Congressional District of Georgia that Dominion machines are not working in certain Republican strongholds for over an hour. Ballots are being left in lock boxes. Hopefully they count them. Thank you, Congressman Rick Allen. Georgia, get out and vote for. I mean, David Perdue retweeted something. Georgia, we have a job. I mean, this is just. It's so. I mean, it's almost like.
All night.
I mean, it's almost so obvious. Like, I mean, it almost feels like Donald Trump really knows what's going on. But I mean, I don't want to jump the gun here. I want to be a realist here. I mean, I don't want to mislead my listeners, and I kind of want to keep it realistic. You know, I mean, I just it would be hard. Again, it's 2020. Anything is possible. But man, it would be really hard to believe that these people, I mean, that these people would do shit like this.
It's so up the ladder. It's so high up on the ladder. You know, it's not these individual.
Dude, I have some serious. Listen, I have some serious late breaking news. And this is sad to say. Kim Kardashian and Kanye West are getting divorced. I mean, oh my God, and you know, and I voted for him in the election. You know, I really wanted him to be president of the United States. I mean, I don't know what this guy's gone through. I don't know the meltdown that he's gone through, but I mean, I think at some point, at least he sees the light. I mean, I think at least I'm hopeful that he's seen some sort of light or something with God. Kanye West, I really do strongly believe that he sees the light. He sees what they're doing to the black children all over the country. You want to talk about a pandemic? 400,000 black children are aborted every single year. That's a pandemic. Every year. Every year they do this. That's a pandemic. How many are we buying in deaths? And now apparently the CDC won't let me be. No, the CDC is now claiming there's a lot of false positives or whatever.
Did I tell you this from day one?
PA legislator erupts over GOP refusal to seat them over contested ballots. Chicago priest known for political activism steps aside after child sex abuse allegation. And look who's next to him, Bernie Sanders. This is
So I just want to reiterate everything here from from the day one since I've been on here. You call me a Q, this and that, but all whatever I stated is becoming facts. It just wasn't right there and then that day, but it's becoming facts. Everything I said about Corona is becoming facts. I told you about the tests are fake. That's becoming facts. That actually is fact now. I told you it's a fake pandemic. That's becoming fact, and you'll see that very soon. I told you about what's going to happen. Donald Trump's definitely 100% going to win. That's turning into fact. Now I just explained to you exactly what's happening with the voting and the 100% proof that I have before any media has, and that will be fact tomorrow.
okay. Just so you know, Purdue just lost.
What?
He's now up by 100 less than he was 30 minutes ago. Oh my God.
So what I want from you is I want a different name than Dr. Q. Maybe Dr. Truth Q or
Dr. Dick.
Let's come up with a new name here.
All right, Dr. Small Dick.
No.
If you get this right, I will praise you for 2 minutes straight. I will talk about what a great man you are, how intelligent you are. But as of right now, I'm still with the.
Come on, man.
That's where I'm at right now. That's where I'm at right now. I mean, look, again, it's 2020. I wouldn't be surprised. I think this election was robbed. It's crazy. We're allowing this shit to happen. So many different things, so many circumstances, and I just don't know where this is gonna end up. I really don't know where this is gonna end up. It's bizarre to me. Like I mean, all I can tell you is, Kim Kardashian, you're hot, you're beautiful. Just want you to know that, and I'm always available, even though I'm married. No, I'm just playing. I'm very happily married. I have my own Kim Kardashian. I don't need a Kim Kardashian. I have my beautiful queen. But that being said, look, the reality is we don't know what's gonna happen. You have your sources. They're telling you one thing. I believe something else completely different is gonna happen tomorrow. I strongly believe that your sources are probably inaccurate.
Military source.
What's that?
Military source.
I know who the source is and I know where it comes from. It comes from the highest level of the government. I understand that. But again, it's just, I don't know how this ended up from Germany to Italy to now. It's bizarre, man. It's the type of shit that Republicans really don't want to hear and don't believe, honestly. The majority of Republicans do not believe in this QAnon ridiculous bullshit. But I mean, you're my friend.
My information is not Q. Okay, this isn't from Q.
Your information is D for dumb, you know?
This is some serious. No, this is real serious information. This is not something that you hear from Q. So I just want you to understand that.
I mean, okay.
Nobody
I mean,
heard about this.
I mean, I'll take your. I mean, what can I say? I'll take your word for
And
it.
it's not just tonight. I explained to you that I had this information earlier today, like early in the morning.
You did. You text me nonstop as I was streaming. And I understand. I mean, look, more than anything, I'm more worried about Americans tomorrow. That is what I'm worried about. The more pushback the Democrats and the rhinos give, I strongly believe the more violent it's going to get in the streets. And this is going to turn real ugly. I strongly believe that there's probably a vast majority of people over there with guns, and they're not part of the Proud Boys. They're just patriots with guns, and they're ready. That is what I strongly believe, and that is dangerous. Anybody with a gun in a hostile situation where they've been on lockdown, where they've been told what to do, how to do it, where they've lost their businesses because of poorly ran states, mainly Democratic states, and these people have lost their livelihoods. They have nothing to lose. So I caution Antifa. I caution Black Lives Matter. I caution any of these Marxist groups that think they're going to go out there and have a little fun beating up people. I would highly suggest you guys stay home in your mom's house, lock your doors, and don't come out. Because the big boys are coming out to play tomorrow. Just saying. Just some friendly advice. You guys don't know what it is to be in a real situation, in a real dangerous situation. Both me and Dr. Q here know a little bit about that. And you guys do not know what it is to be confronted in a situation that is extremely dangerous. And all I can suggest is just stay home, be safe. I don't want to see anybody hurt, not from the left, not from the right. I want transparency. I want justice to prevail. I want the truth to come out, whether the truth is not in my favor or in the Republicans' favor or vice versa. I just want the truth to come out. I have doubts and I don't feel comfortable with this election. And 82% of Americans do not feel comfortable. Republican Americans do not feel comfortable with this election. And we need to feel comfortable with this election. This is the single most important thing an American does, which is vote for our leader of this country. And you take that away from us, you're taking something that won't be taken easy. And it will constitute some drastic measures from we the people. Go ahead, ask me something.
Do you have somebody on the ground right now in Washington?
Yeah.
Are they outside or?
They're outside.
Are they showing it? Is it live or?
Let me see if he is streaming. I'm getting footage and then I upload the footage. I'm not during the day. I'll be streaming it through him, but I'll check it out really.
Can you send me the link?
Let me see if he's streaming. I mean, the problem is again, when it's anything about Trump, becomes an issue.
Well, the fact is, Trump called them terrorists, so I have a feeling that the federal authorities are coming after them like ASAP.
All right, so
not just Antifa, about BLM, they're all together. That was another prediction of mine. I said that they're going down federally.
Why isn't it letting me enter this guy's fucking page? It's leading me to all these other fucking people, and I can't get to this guy's page. It's not. I think this fucker got banned.
Oh, really?
I mean, I'm sure you can find I'm sure you can find the streams anywhere. I mean,
send me it. Text me it. I'll look it up tonight.
Please share this photo. This woman assaulted a Trump supporter, busting her eye open and ran away, and she's wearing an Admiral Security Services jacket, so it seems she works for them. The closest Admiral Security places in D.C. are either in I mean, this is just insane. The violence is already beginning.
Is it really? Well, that's what happens at 12 midnight. That's when it starts.
Explosive. Obama and Renzi, former PM of Italy, orchestrated the theft of U.S. elections.
What I say?
I mean, listen, let me ask you a question. Is your source a real source, or are you just picking shit up off the internet? Huh?
No, this has nothing to do with the internet at all. No.
Listen, right? They have. Listen. Oh my God. Why did I? Oh my God. After 48 minutes, I just realized I've been duped by you. God damn it. Now I got to tell myself this.
Are you stupid?
They've got this already. The audios, they've got the calls. Italian intelligence provided the U.S. with documents, calls, photos of the CIA agents.
What did I tell you, Jay? From this morning.
Huh?
Jay, what did I tell you this morning? I said this is going to be on in the media probably by tomorrow. I explained to you. That's why I wanted you to hear it and get the information before anybody. I've been telling you this all day. When did that come out? That had to come out just like today, like tonight.
This is I'm starting to think, dude, you are watch Fox News reporter escorted out of Stop the Steal protest by police as crowd chants Fox News, go fuck yourself. Jesus, this is just bizarre. I can't believe I just listened to you come up with an entire conspiracy theory that's probably complete bullshit.
Conspiracy theory you're calling it now? Is that what you're doing?
What's that?
Is that what you're saying? You're saying it's a conspiracy theory?
I mean, listen, it's hard to believe what you're saying here.
Jay, I told you, I don't. It's not. Has no. I didn't hear from media or anything. I explained to you. You know where I got my source from. I accidentally told you, but it's that's some serious. I had the conference call.
Yeah, apparently other people have that same conference call.
Maybe now.
So I thought this was a confidential CIA private conversation that nobody. Apparently, you were able to get your hands on the same exact information that others got.
Huh? Do you listen to it? You have it? Can you listen to it then?
What's that?
Do you have it?
Yeah, but I'm not putting that on my podcast.
Really? Where's it at? Because I'm going to look it up because I want to hear this one.
I mean, I'll text you the link now. It's on Rumble.
Yeah. Text me the link.
Breaking: the suspicious pristine Biden mail-in ballot auditors flagged in Fulton County not only had no mail increases and not only appeared to be on a different paper stock, but also contained perfectly filled out ovals that appeared to be marked with a toner instead of by hand. Ah, man.
Yeah, there's nothing that I said.
No, I'm just... see, this is... Jimmy Carter declines Biden inauguration invite. Counter globalist news. Oh, wow. Jimmy Carter declines Biden's inauguration invite. That's interesting.
That's pretty big.
Jimmy Carter is a great president. Was a great president. He was a Democrat, but he was a solid, moderate, good leader, good president.
Right.
Everything declassified proof was not born. Oh my God! Everybody's now saying, "Oh my God, he can't." This is just ridiculous. You can't. I mean, I'm out of here. I'm tired of all this bullshit. I'm tired of this new shit. I'm gonna see it tomorrow, and that's it. List while awaiting Georgia Senate results. House Dems post legislative wish list while awaiting Georgia Senate results. Wow, the legislators of the Democratic. This is so crazy. Biden chief of staff mocks Loeffler's plan to object election certification. Senator Ron Johnson vows to investigate 2020 election results if GOP keeps Senate majority. They're all utilizing this, and at the end of the day, they're not even going to keep the fucking Senate. Okay, Perdue just lost 100 votes. So he's literally under 1,000. He's leading under 1,000, and it just keeps getting worse and worse for Loeffler. I mean, unless this lady has a miracle that's going to come up her sleeve, she's done. I cannot believe she lost to this guy.
She didn't lose. She's not going to lose.
Apparently, there's going to be 3 people being escorted out of DC. Purdue, Loeffler, and Donald Trump. You gotta joke around with this a little bit because you can't take all this shit so serious to heart. But yeah, I mean, it would be the funniest thing to watch Donald Trump being escorted by the Secret Service because he refuses to leave the White House. Listen, sir, we don't want to take you. Listen, sir, we don't want to take you out by force, but if we have to, we will. Can you please leave? I am still the president of the United States of America. Cuff him. Take him down.
Never happened.
Look, you know, Loeffler wasn't the strongest candidate, to be perfectly honest with you. She was extremely robotic.
No,
she tried to be like Trump.
No, she won.
And she
won.
Let me explain to you how this works, okay? In case you don't know mathematics, there are still 135,448 ballots left for this election to end. All in Democrats ran counties, okay? Purdue is up by 919 votes. And Loeffler is down 35,997. So it looks to me like...
What did we say, like 100,000 we said?
It looks like Mrs. Robotic is going to go back home. And Purdue is Purdue... Can I ask you a question?
I call it,
Is Purdue...
They're going to lose by like 250,000 apiece.
Can I ask you? Yeah, call it. That's an easy call. Oh shit! They just updated the numbers again. Holy shit! Hold on. Now she's didn't change. Didn't change. I mean, the margin is still saying 50 point. Hold on. This is confusing. I just saw like a bunch of numbers just go up for both of them. Yeah, she's still losing. Oh, Purdue went up. He went up 400 votes.
Temporary.
He went up 400 votes.
Until tonight.
Look, I'm going to tell you, Purdue stands a very good chance, and there's still military votes. I think Loeffler is a little bit fucked. She has a big gap there. I mean, this isn't a small. Purdue is giving Ossoff a fight for his money. Problem is that Purdue is very well known. Isn't he the chicken guy as well?
Yeah.
He is, right? You know, I never wanted.
I don't know if he is.
I never wanted to sound dumb asking this question, but it's been on my mind for a very long time. I don't know much about him, but the fact that there's Purdue chicken, okay, and I'm just gonna who owned Purdue chicken because.
Looked it up first.
I mean, listen, I don't know. I'm honest. I'm straightforward. I don't know.
I am too.
Purdue Farms. Let me see what Purdue Farms is.
You should type in his name and then Purdue chicken. See if it comes up.
Damn. Purdue Farms meat founded in 1920. Purdue today in 2013, Purdue was third largest American producers in boilers and production. In 2010, criticism: Purdue has been criticized for its factory's lack of adherence and welfare policies.
I would say no.
I don't think it's the same guy.
Probably not.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it is. I mean, it was worth a try. I mean, it was worth finding out whether he owned Purdue or not. I mean, the fucking last names are identical. I mean, for fuck's sake. I mean, that's a pretty unique name.
Yeah, it's getting late. You're tired. You know.
Yeah, I'm a little delirious. I mean, I spend the entire day doing this. Politics 24/7. I don't stop. I don't, okay. He's still, okay. All right. Loeffler went up 100 votes. She's on the way to victory. Dude, she's... Huh?
On the way I say tonight they're both going to lose over 250,000 votes.
Nah, that's not likely because of the amount that's left. It's only 97% of it is already counted. I mean, I can see Purdue squeezing a win. I don't know how many votes are left. That's the issue too. We don't know how many votes are left, and we don't know if any
Right.
Republican areas still have pending votes that could put her over the top. Absentee ballots,
anything.
there's a very strong chance that a lot of the absentee ballots could be Loeffler and Purdue supporters. I mean, for the most part, I would think the mail-in ballots would be more the Dems, and the actual absentee ballots would actually be Republicans. That's just my take on it.
What happened with the voting for the election for the president election? Remember, they had so many voters with more ballots, more. You know what I mean? Like. So we don't know how many are actually there. Just because they say, there's 100,000 left, where it doesn't mean anything. You know that.
I mean, look, these elections have been so stressful. If I'm gonna tell you, all eyes were on Georgia. I hope Georgia doesn't let us down. I really hope they don't let us down, because God forbid Donald Trump is not elected, and there is a House controlled by the Democrats, a Senate controlled by the Democrats, and the presidency controlled by a senile Democrat. We are in deep shit.
Oh, yeah.
But on a positive note, everybody's going to get free money. And our deficit's going to get ridiculously high. And everyone's going to lose their jobs. But don't worry, welfare programs will expand. And everybody will live under a nice little socialist regime where you count on the government for your money. And the elites will stay elites. Huh?
A utopia.
The perfect utopia where the elites maintain their status. They're still rich as hell. And they profit off the American people. And Americans come last. That is what we're looking at. That is what we're looking at this point right now. So that being said, guys, hopefully when you're tuning into this, the election results are completely different. Dr. Q predicts a 200,000 plus landslide victory. I predict there's going to be a little dump of mail-in ballots. I mean, these people obviously think they could just get away with stuff like this. I mean, they're doing it like straight in our faces, and it's ridiculous for people to actually think that these races are anywhere close. I mean, I just don't see it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just delusional. Maybe it's true. Maybe Republicans have become delusional because this country's shifting in a direction that we don't like, and maybe it's time for us to accept the reality. Yeah, I was just playing around. Fuck that. I'm not accepting the reality. I'll fight to the death to not accept this progressive dumbass movement that's happening. Okay, and I want to bring up a subject real quick before we end this stream. For those of you that are in college right now, right? And all of you guys are getting these promises about, free college, they're going to pay off your college debt. Just so you know, the majority of people that their debt is going to be paid off for are actually elites. They're actually all making more than $300,000. Because the people that own student loans, the majority of them have very, very high paying jobs. Yes, it will help. They're making it look like it's going to help the minority. But in reality, this is another program that just helps the elites. Helps the people that got doctor's degrees, lawyers' degrees, and legal degrees. They've gotten all these doctrines and all this stuff. And those are the people that are going to get their student loans paid off as well. So I'm just saying, they're not doing this for the American people. They're doing this for the elite. They're doing this for the American people that are already in a good position in life, that they can afford to pay their student loans. Just some information, some food for thought for those of you that don't know this. That being said, guys, I want to thank Dr. Q for his insight and his inside scoop to a story that apparently broke as we were talking. What?
You don't mind? I want to say a famous saying by Julian Assange: "When all is exposed, 90% of Washington will fall."
Ooh.
Come on, man.
Seriously? That's how you're going to end this fucking podcast? Let's end it. I don't want to end it on a depressed mode because mood or whatever. Because again, from what I'm looking at right now with the election, it's looking very depressing. And I feel like I'm going to wake up to some real bad fucking news. So all I can say is in Washington, D.C., light them up, baby. Show these people that we, the people, control this government and we control what's going on and we choose our leaders, not machines and not individuals. That's all I have to say. We must protect our Constitution. We must protect our great republic. We must protect the democracy that we have in this country, this is the most amazing country. And if we go down this path, it's going to turn into a country like Venezuela. And I'm not trying to say that because it's a Trump comment or because it's something that people have said. I saw it firsthand growing up because I grew up in Miami where there's a lot of people from Cuba, a lot of people from Venezuela, and I saw this unfold. A lot of the local news was always reporting on this, on what was happening in Venezuela, and I saw a prosperous country with an amazing economy collapse and turn into practically a third world country. We don't want to see that in America. We can't allow that to happen in America. Too many lives have been fought on the battlefield. We've accomplished too much in this country. We beat the Brits when we were outnumbered, outgunned, and we still managed to take this country. We went through a civil war where we eliminated and abolished slavery. We went through a civil rights movement where we gave the equal rights to the African American community in this country, well deserved. We've evolved, we've changed. This country is not anything to be ashamed of. This is a country that came and started fresh and learned through the years, through experience, what was right, what was wrong. Every country has a bad history. Every country. There's not one country on this planet that doesn't have a bad history. But our country managed to get through the bad and get to a level that now you walk the streets, you see diversity everywhere. You see black and white couples. You see everyone with equal rights, from gay marriage being accepted into society. And again, it's not something that I support. I don't have any issues with people being partners and being engaged. I think marriage is a religious term, and I think that they should not be using that. I think that they're trying to make a small majority satisfied, and in return they are affecting a larger majority. But that's just my opinion. But this is a country that's constantly evolving. This is the best country in this world, and we all must fight to maintain it that way. And from the looks of it, apparently Georgia did not fight better than Dominion machines did, from what I'm looking at right now. But that being said, I appreciate you, Dr. Q. I do appreciate you. From your mouth to God's ears, I hope you're right on everything you're saying. I hope you're right. I mean, I would love for all this shit to get exposed. Every American wants to see this shit get exposed. I want to see people go to prison. I want to see our country get saved. That's what I want. So, again, I would like to thank all my viewers out there who, my listeners, I'm sorry, out there that tune in to me and send me those fabulous emails. You can always reach out to me if you want to be on my show. It's arepublicannation@gmail.com. That's arepublicannation@gmail.com. I appreciate all the love and support. I love it when I get emails from people telling me that they tune in, that they love my show. I mean, I'm even in some people's top 5, which is right next to Joe Rogan. And that brings a lot of pride that my work is finally going into fruition. And love you guys a lot. Do not lose faith. Today will be a big day because it's technically going to be today. Today will be a big day. And I hope democracy prevails, and I hope justice prevails, and I hope Donald Trump prevails. This isn't a battle between, this isn't about Donald Trump. This is about our republic. This is about our country. We can't let them rob an election, no matter who's president. Democrat or Republican. Just my opinion. God bless you, God bless your families, and God bless this beautiful country we call America.
We will make America great again.
Hi, it's Judge Janine. I want to thank you for listening to the Republican Nation podcast. It's an important podcast to listen to because the Republican Nation is all about the Constitution, the First Amendment, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms, and all of those rights that are important to all of us. We've got to make sure that America doesn't lose any of those rights and that we stay true to our founding fathers' intent. So thanks again for listening to the Republican Nation.